let me ask a different question here. A recent Ninth Circuit case got some attention in a lot of the websites that I read. I read a lot of nerdy websites. And the Ninth Circuit got attention in an opinion that referred to the Star Wars sequels as being mediocre. And it was completely unrelated to the merits of the lawsuit. It was just kind of a pot shot at Star Wars and George Lucas and Disney. And the question I have for you is, you write in your book about maybe cautioning against using too much artistry or pop culture references. Do you have any feelings towards judges that put in references to pop culture?
I do, Jeff, and I do want to mention, and I really don't want to criticize any other judges, advocates, any other legal writers. So I'm just going to sort of couch my answer in terms of, for me, for Bob Bacharach. I do try to avoid pop culture references. I try to avoid humor. I like to think that I have a sense of humor. But the problem when you use pop cultural references and humor in either a brief or in a judicial opinion, which is, I guess, what we're talking about, is I doubt that any of your clients or Tim's, when you have an appeal in a federal circuit court, think it's funny, or think that it is something that should be discussed in the same breath of whether the judge likes the Star Wars movies. Oftentimes, their appeals are the only time that they will interact with the judicial system at all. If they are in the Ninth Circuit, it must be very important to at least one of the parties, and probably both of the parties. They probably incurred a lot of time and a lot of expense. And I think if it were me as the party, I've never been a party to a lawsuit or litigation, but if it were me, I don't think I would find it funny or humorous that judges are talking about something that is really important to me, and they are talking about whether they like the Star Wars movies. It just something that, again, without any criticism of any other judges, it's something that I'm never going to do.
From your perspective, sorry, go ahead, Jeff. Oh, from your perspective on the bench, when you see, it seems to me a trend that we are seeing a little bit more levity and pop cultural references in judicial opinions. If that's true, do you perceive that that is influencing members of the bar to infuse more of that kind of levity and that jocularity into their legal writing?
I do. You know, none of us have a monopoly on humility, or we all get diverted to different sort of goals in our legal writing. One of the things that lawyers are frequently criticized about is what I mentioned earlier about ad hominem attacks. And then you see judges using ad hominem attacks either in a majority opinion or in a dissent. Sometimes what I talked about, advocates being overly critical, almost in a personal way about the district judge. Sometimes you find that in a majority opinion reversing the district court. So judges have the same, judges aren't perfect, lawyers aren't perfect, none of us are perfect. And I do think that sometimes is a hypocrisy among all of us. Sometimes we're all hypocrites sometimes.